You asked, and now I'm gonna answer. I posted up that I wanted you guys to ask me any questions you wanted, and you delivered. I'm gonna go through and answer all your questions. Here we go. All right, when you come back home to Windsor, where is your go-to pizza place? For those that don't know, I am from Windsor, Ontario. Best pizza in the world. I kind of go back and forth between Armando's, Naples, Arcata, Capri. They're all good. I can't choose one, but it's all good. Who is a teacher that made a significant difference in your life? I have had a couple of them. One was my writer's craft teacher in high school, Mr. Koloff, and the other one was my English teacher in high school, Miss Tinoco. I was not the most academic child. Through no fault of my own, I just didn't learn the same way everybody else did, and some teachers took that personally. They were so awesome. They were just super creative and allowed me to be myself, and I love them. Favorite word or saying? Not moist. Favorite music artist? A ton. I have so many, but those that know me know that I was obsessed with Avril Lavigne. I still am. She's my number one, but I think right now my favorite music artist is Julia Michaels as a songwriter and just overall as a pop artist. If you could relive one memory, what would it be and why? The International Children's Games, which was my very first sort of revelation, if you will. That was the time that I knew I wanted to be an artist and I wanted to perform and sing my own songs. That was the exact moment when I ran off stage and hugged my dad, and I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. Favorite food? My favorite food is food. I love food. Pasta, pizza, sushi, burgers, oh my god, all of it, all the time, every day. If you had the choice to go anywhere in the world, where would that be? I want to go to Italy. I have not been to Italy, and obviously, most of you guys know how close I am to my nonno. I would love to go back to his hometown and just kind of, you know, see where he grew up and where he's from so that I can cry. And also just to learn the language a little bit better. I wish that I learned it. I get yelled at every time I see my nonna for that, so. What is your favorite memory as a child? There's a lot. I can honestly say when I think back to the best moments of my childhood, it's, you know, the amount of time my dad spent playing with us. So there's not one exact memory. But before we had our basement finished, we all used to play hockey downstairs, and my dad used to play with us all the time with like toys and whatnot, and it was just so fun. We had a really good childhood. If you could have a conversation with anyone, who would it be? With anyone? Just like, what kind of conversation are we talking about here? Like, is it about food? What is it about? I probably have to say, like, can it be someone who's dead? Like maybe a music artist that has passed on, you know, like one of the greats, maybe Freddie Mercury or Michael Jackson, or I don't know, there's so many, Janis Joplin. It would just be really cool. All right, what happens if you run out of chapstick? Well, I guess I know where chapstick. I would die. I am obsessed. I don't know, this has been going on for years and years, and I think I need an intervention. I used to collect chapsticks. From grade school, like up until high school. I think I counted once and I had almost 300 chapsticks. I wouldn't even use them, I would just collect them. But the addiction is real. How do we get your nonno in a music video? I'll ask him. I don't think he'll be too impressed with that, but I'll ask. If you didn't have social media, how else would you spend your time? Good point, because that's all there is to do nowadays. Spend time outside. I love being outside. Now that the weather's nice, I actually am going outside a lot more often. Other than that, if life was normal, playing shows, that would be great. Seeing my family, that would be great. Hugging my family, that would be great. Seeing my friends would be great. Sometimes I wish social media didn't exist, but it is an important tool if used wisely. How do you decide what cover songs you're going to perform? It's always a song that I like or I gravitate to for some reason. Every week on Tuesdays I have what's called a Tuesday tunage day where I release on my Spotify playlist new tracks of the week that I love for whatever reason it is. It could be the melody, it could be the song title, it could be the artist in general, whatever it is, but they're all songs that I love for some reason. Usually there's songs from that. If not, it's just a song that I like. If you could be besties with any famous person, who would it be? Avril Lavigne. Alright, this is a longer one. I know you've used Palace since Palazzolo may not be ear catching except in Windsor. So my question is this: where did you come up with Palace? Did your dad suggest it? Because when he started out, he used to like local rockers Christee Palace back in the mid to late 70s. Good question. Believe it or not, Palace is actually Palazzolo translated. It is still a part of me, but yes, you're absolutely right. Palazzolo is just, it's not so much that it's not ear-catching, it's more so just the spelling of it and the pronunciation of it. That is hard as an artist to have a really long last name that everyone butchers. So in Windsor, yes, it is a little bit easier because most people know the last name, but in a town where they don't, it's got to be a little more simple, and I'm happy. I love the last name Palace now. I think it's got a nice ring to it, and it's also still a part of me and where I come from. So it was sort of a unanimous decision between me and my team. I really liked it, and I knew that I had to change it. It was time. It's too many people butcher it. It was my decision ultimately. If you could sing with any celebrity, singer, or actor, who would that be? If I could sing with any celebrity, oh my goodness. I want to say Demi Lovato, just because I think she's just an incredible vocalist. It would be so cool to just do a duet with somebody like that who has an awesome voice, and yeah, I don't know. Other than that, Avril Lavigne. One wish, what would it be and why? To never lose anybody that I care about, which is not possible, but that's my wish. Would you ever change the color of your hair? Why, you don't like it? Yeah, maybe, if I feel up to it. Honestly, the teal has just spoken to me for years. I love it, it's my favorite color. I just have no desire to change it yet, but when I do, I probably will. There's not, you know, anybody handcuffing me and saying, you must keep dyeing your hair. Ketchup is made of tomatoes, so technically, isn't it a smoothie? If you were on death row, what would your final meal be? Oh my god. Chicken delight. Anyone from Windsor knows. What was the inspiration for your logo? I drafted this logo up. I contacted actually a former bandmate of mine, drummer Jeff Azar, who's so awesome and so super talented. I had the idea, but I needed somebody to help me sort of bring it to life. I knew I wanted the heart, I knew I wanted the X, and I knew I wanted the crown. I just didn't really know how I wanted it to look, so we got together and went to McDonald's one day and just sat there and hashed it out. It was pretty freaking cool, but he made it look awesome. It's like chiseled and it just looks so clean, and oh, I love it. As for the inspiration for it, I don't know, it kind of just came to me. I loved the idea of the heart and the X through it, because, you know, initially, especially, my songs were about heartbreak and, you know, things that always affected me. My first single was Heart in My Heart. The crown is to represent the palace, of course, the princess that I am. I was the prom queen. How do you start a song when you want to write it? Does a thought pop up? Do words come to mind? I love this question because it's never the same. Sometimes I come up with just a song title. Sometimes literally just the lyrics will pop into my head. Sometimes it's a melody. Sometimes I'll hum a melody that just kind of comes to me. Sometimes I'll be inspired to be sitting down at the piano and just come up with a chord progression first and the lyrics come after. It's different every time. But a few things that I do is, if I'm reading a book or just in everyday life, I make sure that I keep in my notes app just any sort of ideas that come to me, whether it's a title or you know, a sentence that I liked, or a phrase, or part of a poem, whatever it is. I just write it down for inspiration. And I also take voice memos on my phone all the time of things that pop into my head, even when I'm out in public. That's what you gotta do, so you don't forget the good ideas. What was the first song you sang in public with your dad, and where? Oh shit, I don't even know. Dad, can you answer? I feel like we may have sung together at some kind of event, and it was probably an oldies, like some kind of older song that my dad knew that he was able to play, and I just kind of hopped on the mic because I'm sure he made me. I don't remember exactly what song it was, but it was certainly when I was younger, for sure. If you could have any singer sing one of your songs, who would that be, and which song would you like them to sing? Oh my god. I would love to hear someone like Kelly Clarkson or Demi Lovato, someone with a really big range, big powerful voice, sing What Have You Done To Me. There's so many other songs in the works, by the way, that I could probably see them singing, but I can't tell you yet. But out of the songs that I've released so far, definitely What Have You Done To Me, just because that one was probably the most vocally challenging for me, and I think it'd be really interesting to hear their spin on it. If you could pick a famous person to switch lives with, who would it be and what timeline? Love you. I love you too. Again, I feel like all my answers are so cliche because you guys know me so well. Probably Avril Lavigne. I think it'd be so cool to have been able to go through what she went through at the age that she went through it. I believe she was 17 when she first came out, and all the things that she was able to experience while still being, you know, somewhat youthful and being herself and really transforming the music industry, I think, especially for female pop artists. I think that would have been really amazing to experience. What is the most useless talent you have? Talent? I don't know. I used to be able to do the worm. Unfortunately, I'm in my apartment and I can't really show that to you. maybe in another video. Is that a talent? What is the best advice you've been given? So many things, mainly from my parents. My dad has said something to me that has resonated with me even when I'm going through probably the hardest times ever. It's to look down the hill, not up. And his reasoning for saying that was, a lot of times you get overwhelmed by all the things that you have yet to accomplish and how much further you have to go to get to where you want to be. But instead of doing that, because you'll drive yourself nuts, it's always best to look at where you came from and how far you've come, and to look at all the accomplishments that you have achieved this far. It just helps to make you feel good about where you're at in your life. My mom has given me so many amazing chats. I talk with her weekly. She's my therapist. What is the most interesting question anyone has asked you in an interview? Ooh. Somebody asked me one time why I drink water, and I laughed in their face. I didn't know what to say. I'm like, because you'll die if you don't. And I don't know if it's so much interesting. Oh my god, my Nana's calling me! Hello? Nano! How are you? Like, what are the chances of that? Oh my god, he's so cute. I can't even handle it. Oh, I could cry. The only time I've heard and seen you perform was with the one-man out band at a friend's wedding about 4 years ago. Just curious why you decided to go out on your own. By the way, you were awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, so for those that don't know, I was a part of a wedding band for about 8 years of my life. I started that when I was 18. That was probably the best thing that's ever happened to me for a lot of reasons. The main one being it certainly made me the performer that I am today. It was a good experience for what it was, for sure. And that's just ultimately, I mean, that wasn't the end goal for me. I was doing that a lot for the experience, for the money, and it was great at the time. I knew that I got to an age where I wanted to explore and go off and do the things that I was passionate about, and that's what I ended up doing. So, I mean, as much as the wedding band thing is awesome, I had my own dream and I had to go off and do it. What was it, or what moment led up to you wanting to write and sing songs as a lifelong career? Well, I can say this, I've been writing songs since I was 5 or 6 maybe. I would write down things that made no sense. When I was about 6 or 7, I used to steal the melodies from popular songs at the time, write my own words to them. I think I stole an S Club 7 melody or something and wrote my own words. But I've been doing that forever. I don't really know what it was, because it's not like my dad showed me how to write songs when I was little. We would always, you know, play piano and he would make me sing, and that was great. He showed me all of that. But when I was really young, I would write stuff all the time, and I don't really know what started that. I just knew that it was an outlet for me. I always did it, and I always kept some form of journal or diary where I would write songs in it. I would totally plagiarize. As for knowing that I wanted to do this as a career, I just think I got to a point where writing my own songs and performing them was just the best feeling that I had ever had. And it was the International Children's Games for me that changed that. I didn't perform my own song, but I performed a song that my dad wrote, and I performed in front of, I think, 8,000 people, and it was televised, and that changed my life. It was just a feeling I'd never felt before, and I knew that I wanted that. How would you describe your creative process when writing? Does it vary from song to song? It's always a little different. Like I said, I'll come up with the melody sometimes it'll start with an actual title. Sometimes something will happen to me and all the words just spill out, and you know, the melodies and the chord progression just comes out with it. Everything sort of matches, especially if it's something that is super significant to me or has affected me. What is your all-time favorite song to sing? Up to the Mountain by Patty Griffin, redone by Kelly Clarkson. I think you guys have heard it, some of you love that song, and I remember practicing my voice to that song for years before I could actually sing it. I love it. All the vocal melodies, the runs, everything about it, I just love. Other than performing live, what's the first thing you want to do when everything opens up? Hug my nano! See my friends and family and just be able to be close again and go to concerts and go to Cedar Point. I miss rides. I just want to live. I want to get all-you-can-eat sushi. I want to sit in a restaurant and just be a pig. I want to do all the things. Will you have your own concert in Windsor? I saw you open for Walk Off the Earth. Yeah, I mean, when things open up again, maybe. I love Windsor. Any chance that I'm able to come back and, you know, perform or do anything in Windsor, I will definitely do that. What is your favorite day at the gym? You inspire me to work out more. Jeez. Yeah, for those that don't know, I love to work out. I try to stay fit and active as much as possible. My favorite day is probably leg day. And mind you, when you say favorite, that doesn't necessarily mean it feels good. It's tough. Probably legs or abs for sure. Anyways, everybody, I wanted to thank you so much for all of your questions. I'll be doing this a little more often, I think, because it's so super fun. If you have any more questions, make sure you comment below and ask me them. Maybe I'll do a part 2 of this video, I don't know. I will see you guys very soon. If you haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel as well. So much stuff coming. I'm so stoked. See ya!